So this is a short video entitled Einstein the Misogynist. So Einstein was a misogynist and most likely didn't give credit for his wife's work with him on relativity. And without his wife he probably wouldn't have understood relativity properly. As I've pointed out in other videos, Einstein has paper on relativity has been mistranslated into English. So then with Einstein not properly understanding relativity, he probably then didn't properly appreciate that his theory had not been properly understood. And others working on the relativity in the same time period as Einstein then distorted relativity even further. So what we have is relativity is a misinterpretation of what the original theory really was. So if you look on the internet, you will find articles like this. It says Albert Einstein decried racism in America, however his diaries reveal a xenophobic and he was also misogynist. I think from a 21st century perspective, we can look back on the time period of history and think of him as being a misogynist, but it would have just been what a normal male thought at that time. It's only from a 21st century perspective that we can look back on people being in that time period as being misogynists, and when it would just been normal behaviour for men back then to be like that. So this article says, turns out Einstein was a cold-hearted misogynist who attempted to control his wife's every move. Einstein, it turns out, as well as being a misogynist, was particularly nasty to his first wife, Mileva Maric. Mileva and Albert were physics students together, so it would have been natural to think that they would be working on physics papers together. But when you look on the physics papers, there is nothing about there being a joint work from him and his wife. And as a misogynist, he wouldn't have thought it necessary to mention her. So getting on to this article, Einstein the misogynist. That article says, to gain a view of what male privilege looks like and sounds like, I can think of no better example than a document written by one of the greatest human minds in history, Albert Einstein. So the article is pointing out this is a good example of misogyny, and that's what is meant by male privilege. They thought they had male privilege, and that was what we would now look back on as misogyny. And Einstein wrote this contract to his wife, and where he says, statement A, you will make sure 1, that my clothes and laundry are kept in good order, 2, that I will receive my 3 meals regularly in my room, 3, that my bedroom and study are kept neat, and especially that my desk is left for my use only, and so on. So Einstein, in this contract to his wife, starts laying out his demands, which is male privilege. He thought he had male privilege. So what we seem to have in general is everybody has a public face and a private face. Einstein's public face was that of being a very nice man, but what you see in public is not necessarily the same as what you get in private. So he had a private face which he showed to his wife and he was particularly nasty. So the issue becomes, did his first wife, Mileva, she might have contributed to Einstein's papers on relativity, etc., but was not given credit. Thus, Einstein might not have properly understood his relativity theory, and it might have been his wife that better understood it. And that's what I get as pointed out in my other videos. Einstein's relativity was mistranslated from German into English, and he couldn't have properly understood that. Einstein couldn't have properly understood relativity. Thank you, that's the end.